what I'm pitching to you is meditation. Twice a day, once in the morning, once in the mid-afternoon. We're gonna meditate for 15 minutes.
Sounds like a 15-minute nap to me, which I'm not opposed to. It sounds great. How do you get any work done?
All right, welcome back to the Betterment Experiment, where we're making all of your extreme productivity fantasies a reality. I'm Joe LeMay.
And I'm Jake Epstein. Thanks for listening. As a reminder, each episode on the Betterment Experiment, we debate 2 hardcore life hacks we find on the internet. You vote on which one we implement, and then we experiment on ourselves like human guinea pigs.
Now later in this episode, stay tuned, because we'll be debating 2 methods to experiment with for dealing with stress.
That should be exciting.
All right. Last time, we debated 2 very different extreme email management methods. We debated email time blocking versus inbox zero. The audience, all of you voted. Thank you very much for that. Inbox zero won. Congrats, Jake. And you got about 80% of the vote on that one.
I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0, buddy. I know. Maybe this is your week. Maybe.
We're going to swing.
We'll see. Well, why don't I start? Because I did a little bit more of a basic streamlined inbox zero, and Joe has some additional hacks to kind of layer on top. So just as a review, and basically what I did, every time you go into your email inbox, first thing you want to do is clean out the crap. So you archive, filter, or even block future like spam inbound emails. Next thing, you respond to anything that takes you less than 2 minutes. So sometimes someone says, hey, does 9:30 a.m. on Thursday work? Look at your calendar, it does, respond, out. And then everything else that you gotta think deeply about, you take it and you put it in another folder. So like a needs response folder. So the end result is an inbox with literally 0 messages in it. And then when you do have time, you go into the need response folder and you answer like these in-depth emails or read something you gotta read or, you know, whatever it is. So that's inbox zero.
How'd it go for you?
I loved it. I mean, I would describe it as life-changing personally. Let me tell you why. I think I was always missing a method to go through my inbox, and I think that it's the method that's important because it completely eliminated the chaos of weeding through your inbox, right? And it's that chaos that I didn't realize was giving me anxiety and really caused inefficiency, just like in my workday. Because I would go into my inbox and I would like freak out, you know? And it's that inefficiency, or the lack of inefficiency, that is really the productivity tie-in, because I think that it just made my day more productive by applying this inbox zero method to my inbox. It's like one of those makeover shows, you know, where they like transform the house. You can't believe it's the same house. I can't believe my inbox is the same inbox. It's like it's all clean, man. It's perfect. So like I said, life-changing for me. I had a couple hang-ups that maybe I'll come back to, but
Life-changing. That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah. Well, what did you think?
I remember back in the day, I asked you if you practiced inbox zero, and you thought you did, but it's really...
It was inbox zero-ish.
Right? Now you did the real deal, and it was life-changing. Well, if you may remember from last episode, I was the naysayer. I thought that this was a bad idea. I do admit, I came around. I made a few tweaks to make it mine, but ultimately, I won't go as far as to say it was life-changing, but I definitely found it reduced my anxiety. I scanned through the headlines of my email fewer times, cleaned it up, got them somewhat organized, then jumped out of my inbox, and I found that effective in that way. It was good, and I'm going to stick with it. Here are a few things that I implemented on top of it.
Joe's got some good hacks, so get into it.
Yeah. So, this one wasn't mine. One was to use the delegate folder. So you have a needs response folder. There's also a delegate folder. So I really like this one. Here's an example where I found it useful. Our lawyer emailed me and I forwarded that to Chris Kelly, our bookkeeper. Normally I'd do that and press archive, and then I just have to trust that Chris Kelly would do it, but I wouldn't have a way to kind of check and see all of the things I delegated unless like I just thought of them.
And delegate's a good word. I think you could almost extend that to just like a status drawer, right?
Yeah.
Just things you want to just keep in you want to keep in your inbox somewhere.
They're effectively done. They're off my plate, but I might want to keep my eye on them. I now know those things. I don't have to rely on my brain to bring them back into my consciousness to be able to think of following up on them. So I thought that was really great. Get them out of your brain into a separate folder. I would almost call that magic. That was a great little hack there.
That's good. It's a good one.
Remember we were talking about inbox zero, and one of my big anxieties was that I had an inbox with like 7,000 email messages in it. What do? Do I declare email bankruptcy? Blah 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 blah.
I just like the term email bankruptcy.
I do too.
I wish you declared it just so we could have said that you did it.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make it easy on myself. So what I did on October 17th, I just sent myself one email that said inbox zero line, and that was my goal, to get down to that. And so moving forward, getting to inbox zero. And so I recommend that to anyone who wants to do inbox zero, because it's just that it eliminates all hurdles to getting started.
It's good. I think it worked out well for you. I just swung the axe, which is not recommended for everyone. I just archived everything in my entire inbox.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I know. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. But that's the way I roll, man.
It's a little Hun over there. I like it. That's a power move.
Just call me Attila the Hun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so but then I also found I wanted them still there, because then when I did have a little bit of time, I did start going through it. I'm back to like September 1st. Everything is clear from September 1st onwards.
So we're working backwards.
A couple months backwards, and I can still hack through it. I did find that now I am just completely ruthless about blocking people.
And marking as spam. And blocking does mark all their future messages as spam.
That's right.
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
I am a killer.
Dude, I'm telling you. When I was nice before, I would always just archive most of the time. I didn't want to hurt people's spam status. I'll tell you though, if you put the word CEO in your title on LinkedIn, you could be CEO of a banana stand. You're gonna get 50 emails a day from someone trying to sell you the next marketing SaaS solution, right? And usually I just press archive, ignore it. But now these people are getting in the way of me reaching my goal of inbox zero. Oh, now I'm like Genghis Khan. I'm blocking everyone.
I hear you, man.
Right.
I gotta. Yeah, it's like a one strike rule.
Uh-huh.
You write in, you're out.
All right. Here's another move for you. All right. This is one issue I found. I'm going through. I'm getting to inbox zero. Remember, one thing is if it takes you less than 2 minutes to respond, you respond right away. And I was doing that. And then in some instances, people were emailing me back yet again another question. So I was unable to get out of my inbox. And suddenly I found myself like having like a live chat situation.
Yeah, it's like a ping pong game, right?
Which, dude, that's totally fine if it's like you, someone at Rocketbook, or leadership team, that's great. But, there's so many people who I don't want to train the world that I'm available for a live chat through email because I'm practicing inbox zero. So here's the hack for that, all right? Delayed emails. So Outlook has this built in, or you can download Boomerang for Gmail. Instead of just pressing send, you press send and delay it an hour or two.
Oh, it's such a good hack. It's like pumping the brakes on an email thread.
Pump the brakes.
It's so good.
Be the boss of your email. That's the power move I've got.
It's a good. It doesn't come up for me too often, but man, when it does, like I can't wait to do that.
Yeah,
it just feels like a power move.
It does. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't work for you. Right.
I like it.
All right.
Should we sum up?
Yeah, let's sum up. Or actually, before we do, we've got our first emailed question.
Oh, yeah.
So let's cover that.
Yeah,
hang on a second here.
Great.
Sanjay emailed podcast@getrocketbook.com, and he asked, because in the last episode, Jake said that he only had 300 emails in his inbox.
It was an estimate.
And Joe said he's going to have to do an audit. Well, we did that audit. I checked your inbox, and you had over 1,000 emails. And I'm happy to tack that up to your previous email mismanagement lifestyle, and now you have been cured, and you will go off and sin no more.
Thank you so much for writing in, Sanjay. And yeah,
everyone, take it from here to wrap up, Jake.
Yeah, all right. Let me see if I can summarize both of our conclusions on Inbox Zero and recommendations. So definitely, we both agree it increases productivity and reduces inbox anxiety. And you definitely have to be super aggressive about blocking, filtering, and deleting emails and archiving emails. I mean, it's what you spend most of your time when you first get in your inbox doing, so you just got to get rid of them for future reference. And then Joe has a bunch of great modifications that he made Inbox Zero his own, some specialized folders for status / delegation, and then the hack that I love, man, that Boomerang hack, where it's just, I love it. Insert a little friction on the back and forth. It's just good. I was missing that.
Why don't we put a little link to that in the show notes over at vote.getrocketbook.com.
I mentioned it before. I did have a couple hang-ups. I wanted to see where you were on this. So first of all, processing the emails in the process later. Like I never found like a perfect time of day to do that. It was sort of just whenever I felt like I had time. When did you go through that folder?
I wanted to make sure that I got down to 0 in that folder every day at least once. So
by the end of the day.
My regular inbox got down to 0 every time I jumped out of my inbox, right?
Yep.
But then that needs reply folder, I've got to get down to 0 at the end of the day. I didn't always achieve that, but I think that should be my goal moving forward. And I think doing that at the end of the day, like having a sort of power half hour at the end of the day just to get through Slack, email. What about Slack? We were talking about like...
That was my other hang up, man. It's inbox 0 does not apply to Slack at all. But we should do a future episode on Slack 0. Is that a thing?
Slack 0? Or I think what's more appropriate is to do the time blocking for Slack.
I think you're probably right about that. Yeah. Just dedicate a few dedicated times over the course of the day.
That could be. We could do an episode just on Slack hacks.
Ooh, we should do that.
Right.
Slack hacks.
Yeah. So email us at podcast@getrocketbook.com to give us your suggestions for future hacks that we can implement, Slack hacks or otherwise, that you want to see us attempt to experiment with and report on.
Speaking of experimenting, let's take a break, and then when we come back, it's time for the great debate this week.
Let's do it. Remember to suggest a life hack you want to see us experiment with. Email us your suggestions at podcast@getrocketbook.com. Okay, welcome back. Let's get into this week's debate. First, I want to let our listeners know this week's theme is about relieving stress, and we'll now pitch each other 2 extreme ways to reduce stress every day.
So listen closely, because you are going to vote on which stress relief technique we implement. And I already know what Joe is going to pick because he's a hippie and I saw his show notes. So can I go first, or do you want to go first?
Go ahead. You go first.
Here's my pitch. All right. Exercise, specifically cardio exercise at the crack of dawn. Roll out of bed. Don't check your messages. Don't check your phone. Make your bed. Go to the gym. And
no breakfast?
No breakfast, no nothing. So yes.
So no powerlifting?
We're not powerlifting. No. Right. We're just going to hit the gym, and we're going to get the lead out, man. And there's a lot of scientific basis in this, all right? I've been reading up on the benefits specifically of cardio in the morning. We're talking before 6 a.m.
Okay.
Routine, we're going to have the big thing done for the whole day. Energy, it's going to get the blood pumping through our body and our minds. And the last thing is mood and optimism. So we're going to come into work full of optimistic energy that's just going to drive a productive force throughout the day. Boom.
I like it. I like getting something accomplished before your day even starts, before touching that email. I like the idea of that momentum and that blood flow coming into it. I just don't know if it's extreme enough, and I also think it's a little bit surface level. You're already exercising pretty well, just kind of moving it to the beginning of the day just seems not like a big deal to me. I see some marginal benefits.
You're saying that because you don't want to do it, and that's the whole point of getting into it, man.
I'm not that afraid of that.
Okay.
I don't. But speaking of things that you don't want to do, as you know, in the past I've dabbled with some meditation. I like it. As you know, I've heard that your family has encouraged you strongly to look into it, and you've never done it, and you've resisted, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm pitching to you is meditation. So here's what we're going to do. Twice a day, 15 minutes a day, once in the morning, once in the mid-afternoon, we're going to meditate for 15 minutes. We're going to do breathing meditation, also known as asana meditation or mindfulness meditation. All you do is focus on your breath. Your mind will drift, and you'll bring it back to your breath and back to the present moment, and it'll have effects that will be monumental throughout your day, your life, and your relationships, and it will increase your creativity and improve how you deal with stressful situations, and I predict it will decrease your insomnia, which you're plagued with.
Wow. I wish I could say I like it, but it sounds like a waste of time to me. First of all, where are we going to do, man? Where are we going to meditate in the afternoon?
That's the best part. I need to see you. You'll be so self-conscious trying to find a place, and people will know that you're meditating, and you'll be self-conscious about that, but you'll just have to breathe through it and get back to your breath.
Do we do it together?
No way.
Do we have chimes?
No chimes.
Is
no
there
mantras. This is not transcendental meditation.
Is there
it's
incense?
very simple. You could have incense if you wanted to, but I don't recommend it.
Do I have to grow a beard?
Yes, you have to grow a man bun too.
Oh man, it sounds like a 15-minute nap to me, which I'm not opposed to. It sounds great. How do you get any work done?
That's the point, my friend. Here are the benefits of it. You're going to find that you're going to get better and better at controlling your own thoughts and directing your attention, not letting your thoughts get out of control, and those thought patterns that go round and round and round that can cause insomnia, which I know you are plagued by insomnia.
I like to think of it as segmented sleeping.
Insomnia is horrible for you, and I think you're going to find here's what I think you're going to find at the end of this 7 days. I believe that your insomnia will start to improve.
All right.
Yeah, you're just squirming in your seat right now.
I am, just because I think it's hocus pocus. I just want to put it out there for me. And here's the thing. I know you're right. I know there's a lot of successful people out there that tack it up to meditation, and I want to respect the meditation crowd out there, right? However, I'm saying for us, especially for me, I tack up my success to like a savage disregard for anything in my way, right? And so I feel like that's going to get in my way, because when I come in the morning, man, I'm putting on the war paint. I got a Viking helmet with horns on it. I'm toting a flamethrower, and I'm charging the hill, right? You blow the whistle, we're charging the hill, right? And inside of this human cruise missile, right, is a nuclear reactor completely spinning out of control. We're talking like steam coming out of valves that shouldn't be coming out. The meters are pegged, and the sirens and the lights are going off on the side, right? And the only way we're going to vent the reactor into space is we got to break the glass, hit the button on the wall, and that button for us is going to be Planet Fitness at 5 a.m.
I like it. All that you said is why I love working with you. Okay, all that power and savageness, totally. But I think that this is going to be a step level function in taking you to the next level of power, just like, a superhero who just like got his power up.
Well, you make a compelling case, but I say breathe on your own time. I got stuff to do, all right?
All right, let's wrap it up. All right, so Jake, you just made a pitch that the first thing in the morning, we will roll out of bed, get our exercise in, the benefits of that, having accomplished one thing before we even touch our emails, getting into a routine, and then having momentum, blood flow, and better energy coming into the day, so we will be more productive, happy, etc., and successful.
Good summary.
What I pitched was that we will meditate twice a day. It will drive you absolutely crazy at first, but you will get over the hump and you'll start to see the benefits, including more control to your power and getting through your to-do list and your stress with some separation from the stress, dealing with it in a productive way, and a reduction in insomnia and an improvement to all of your daily interactions.
A lot of promise there.
That's my prediction.
A lot of promises.
Anyway, it's not up to me. It's not up to you. The audience is going to decide. Everyone's going to go to vote.getrocketbook.com and vote on whether we do first thing in the morning, crack of dawn exercise, or we meditate twice a day.
And we will review next episode.
All right.
But for now, thanks for joining this episode of the Betterment Experiment. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Betterment Experiment with Jake and Joe, the co-founders of Rocketbook. Head over to vote.getrocketbook.com and cast your vote to help decide which experiment we'll test out and tell you all about in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. It's a great way to support the podcast, and we really do appreciate it. Email us your comments, questions, and experiment suggestions to podcast@getrocketbook.com. And please follow Rocketbook on Instagram and Twitter @getrocketbook, on Facebook.com/getrocketbook, and on YouTube.com/rocketbook. Thanks again for listening, and tune in to the next episode to better yourself.